Go ahead.
So first of all, you should know. Do you know about the G4 Genos thing where he dodged the light due to the moisture dispersion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can agree that is a faster than light feat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll start off with showing that Bakuzan did not Bakuzan, my bad. Monster Goketsu did Blitz Genos, so he should be arguably much faster than Genos. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And starting off, will post the other scan where Goketsu had an injured Suiryu in a position. If I can get that scan up. Oh, shit. If I can fucking find it. So yeah, it was a scan where Goketsu tried to stomp on Suiryu. At that point he had the intention to where he did mention, if people didn't take the monsterization cells and actually have it, then they would, be killed by him. And at that point, Suiryu did deny taking it. So I'll post a scan of become monsters.
Well,
die.
You're also aware that Goketsu was still giving Suiryu specifically more chances because he didn't want to waste his potential.
But he was still injured at that point, so he could still argue he was still able to come to a near miss against someone like Goketsu.
Well, yeah, but Goketsu was still holding back, and I don't think he could equalize.
There is more of the fact that he had the intention to kill, because Suiryu did refuse to the fact that he didn't want to take the monsterization cells, and he mimicked not mimicked, but he mocked Goketsu in the case.
Well, Goketsu still also wasn't trying to kill him. He kept egging him on to try and take it. And I don't was this after he'd thrown the monster cell back at his face?
Yeah, this was post.
Or before?
No, it's post. He before Goketsu tried to go at him, Suiryu did contemplate and then throw the monsterization cell at him.
Okay, so what are you trying to go with this argument?
So it's just to show display that Suiryu does have somewhat arguable FTL capabilities. There's also the Monster Chose thing, where he did dodge the Monster Chose attack or react to it. I'll post that again. Where is it? Let me get this.
Well, even if all of this goes through, Watchdog Man still scales above it, so
okay.
It's no issue.
Yeah. Is this because of the entire Garou statement? Or
yeah.
Garou? Yeah. There is Bakuzan, who was Garou and both Bang and Garou previously participated in the tournaments.
And you do know that Garou is did you know that Suiryu still thought Garou was stronger than Bakuzan?
Yeah, and then Bakuzan still commented on the fact that the commentator student after commented on the fact that Bakuzan was superior to the people previously.
Well, yeah, but that just means that Garou got stronger after that, and Suiryu still thought he was stronger than Bakuzan. So that could be holding back as well.
Okay.
And Watchdog Man still beat the shit out of that stronger Garou that Suiryu thought was strong. So
yeah, but it was still obviously you can still argue the amount that Garou believes that Watchdog Man was superior to him was an unquantifiable amount, because there's no obviously reasonable quantification.
I don't think that really matters.
Oh yeah, but
I'll post the scans, by the way, if you want.
No, that's fine. Yeah. I did want to go over something. There was a if I can find the statement by Genos himself, that when going against someone like Monster Goketsu, he was in comparison to other monsters, he was vastly superior. He was like any other, and they made comparisons of a bunch of the S class teaming up to fight him. If I get that quote for Genos quickly.
Are you still trying to scale why are you trying to scale Goketsu on see how this applies?
I'm saying Suiryu still managed to withhold against people like Goketsu, like his durability is like, I'm not saying his AP.
Well, I mean, not really. Goketsu, like every single time he like attacked Suiryu, he like broke bones in his body like effortlessly. Like he doesn't even scale to even that weakened Goketsu that holding back. He like annihilated him. I don't see how you can make them even close.
All right. Well, I'm not saying like, okay. So first of all, I'm not saying that. Well, I tried to like push the intention that he wasn't like vastly holding back. He had the intention to kill, so he shouldn't.
Well, I mean, I think you're trying to scale like the Goketsu here to the Goketsu that fought Genos and scaling Suiryu Genos, correct?
Well, Suiryu's like durability should be greater than Genos if he like could withhold against that same Goketsu.
Well, I mean, I don't think the durability part matters because I mean, Watchdog Man still scales above it. I don't see what Watchdog Man just like he just blitzes in one shot. I don't see how he doesn't.
Alright, let me see.
I mean, especially if Suiryu still thinks that like that this Garou right here is still like a strong opponent and even stronger than Bakuzan,
right.
Stronger than Bang. Like I don't see how close. Blitz him and one shot him. And even if Suiryu could like contend with him, like Watchdog Man's martial arts and his technique would be hard for Suiryu to keep up with because his style is specifically troublesome, like against people trained to fight against other martial arts. Not like
yeah,
his
but Garou is
technique.
somewhat superior to people like not Garou, mind me. Bang is superior to like Garou in that sense of like martial arts anyway, or like martial arts in general. You'd agree. And Suiryu was stated to also be above Bang.
Hold on, I think I have the same. Yeah, but the comparison I'm making is more along the lines of Suiryu to Garou. Not directly, but more like Garou above Bakuzan and Bang, which is fine. And then scaling Suiryu like really close to Garou. And then Watchdog Man just fucking effortlessly above that.
Okay.
Anyways,
well,
here's what it.
Yeah. I'll wait for that scan. Alright, well, let me go. How strong would you, like, do you roughly have Watchdog Man specifically? Because I do have a calculation for Suiryu to post, if I can find that.
I mean, he just scales above like a bunch of people. He himself doesn't have any calcs. He just scales above it.
Alright. Well, obviously, you know the calc for Suiryu where it's like, shit puts it. I believe it puts him at like CE level, I believe, or somewhere along the line.
The cloud dispersing one, yeah, it's something like city level.
Yeah,
something like that.
I'll just post that just in case anyway.
Exactly what it's at.
Yeah, I'm still like trying to push the edge of the fact that like he's still withheld against Goketsu, right? Is like even arguably he only broke one bone against him, or he believed that he broke a bone against him, but he was still able to, like, in comparison to what Jadon's had, he was able to have like good enough durability to survive against him.
Wait, who was? Sorry.
Arguably.
Wait, what were you talking about? I cut out there.
So like you know, Suiryu's like endurance and durability is like a whole. I know they're separate things, but still, like in comparison to someone like Genos, he'd be somewhat like superior to that. And then Genos did make the remark of him being, you know, Goketsu being like stronger than the other monsters he's faced before.
So what's this go?
So I was like sort of it was like sort of under the implication that, you know, the VGS system where they went against Carnage Kabuto and he's like witnessed how strong Carnage Kabuto could be. Right? Obviously Goketsu he's trying to make the remark that Goketsu would be much like stronger than them. Or like,
well, but I don't think it's I mean, I think it's pretty obvious he's stronger than Carnage Kabuto, but I don't think
and then obviously Carnage Kabuto went against someone like a full power Super Rally Dark Shine. If you need me to post that like little snippet for the VGS thing.
Well, why do you keep backskilling to Goketsu? Because Goketsu
Because
doesn't
like
scale to
I'm trying to like push the fact that like, you know, at the end of it, like Goketsu, like Suiryu still managed to like withheld against a Goketsu. Like I'm still pushing the fact that
like a holding back Goketsu.
he still had the intention to kill. So I would like push the fact that, you know, if he had the intention to kill, he more than likely you would assume that he wouldn't be.
Well, I mean, Goketsu was still giving him 3 seconds to get up, and as long as he kept getting up, he wasn't going to like kill. But if he didn't get up, then he was going to kill him. He did that multiple times in that fight.
Didn't he do it like?
So I still don't
once
think
the
it matters.
Didn't he do it once after he battered him? Like after he went against him quite a bit.
I mean, he did it every single time he fell to the ground. He'd start counting, and if he didn't get up in that time, he was going to kill him.
Alright, well, obviously I have like the one kick where he did against Suiryu, and Suiryu still managed to like get up. Obviously, this doesn't upscale Suiryu's like AP because, you know, clearly that wasn't something that.
Then why do you keep trying to scale him?
I'm just like saying his durability and endurance should be something like it should be either like comparable or somewhat like relative or somewhat above something that Watchdog Man can do.
How?
Well, first of all, I scaled into like a. So you agreed to like not Super Rally Doctrine, like Goketsu being superior to like Carnage Kabuto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Carnage Kabuto at that point did go against the Carnage Kabuto went against a full power or like push for a full power Super Rally Dark Shine in the VGS system.
Was it like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and he fucking like got annihilated?
I believe it was like that. Let me post that scan again. So it's just pretty much trying to upscale like his overall durability or endurance to say like he can withstand something that, you know, something that like Watchdog Man can do. Because at the moment, I have Suiryu at unquantifiable like FTL speed, and I believe you probably have the same thing for Watchdog Man.
Yeah, literally just scales above Garou, and Garou, and then Garou scales to like Metal Bat.
Yeah. What's it good? Yeah, I would still like say like, you know, I'm pretty much like pushing for a relative standpoint on their both their speeds. I mean, the Garou from the one that participated in the tournament and the one that came against Metal Bat, there wasn't a clear distinction that he did get stronger or anything. So I would assume that there wasn't much of a difference there, if you get what I mean.
Okay, I mean, I still don't see why. I mean, Watchdog Man still has like that scaling to like above Garou, and then Suiryu still is kind of like scaling fucking Garou as like a strong opponent, but obviously Garou wasn't even a strong opponent against fucking Watchdog Man because he got annihilated. So
yeah, but
like
then,
I think even like
obviously you go off the
Bakugan
quote after the
statement still kind of puts them close together.
You still put the Bakugan quote after though, where they did state like after Bakugan's appearance that this was like that was beforehand when Suiryu believed that Garou was stronger than Bakugan at that point. But obviously,
yeah, then he just believes that Garou was holding back.
Why would you?
So I mean, Suiryu did the same thing. So I mean, he was holding back in the tournament as well, just to like one shot them, having fun. But the announcer doesn't know that.
Right, but there was no there's no display. That's Suryu's case. That was like there was no display for someone like, for example, Garou to be holding back in that case. Because obviously Suiryu.
Well, I mean, it just means that Suiryu can identify that either that Garou would have to be stronger by this point, or that he was holding back in the tournament. Both of which still like are fine because you know it still scales to Watchdog Man anyways.
Okay. Let me check.
Which he can still back scale to Suiryu because of that comment he made. So
right.
And there's still that martial arts point as well. So I mean, if he needs to, he can just incapacitate him. If somehow like he doesn't,
and you're trying to push like
kill him in like one shot, he just incapacitate him.
So you're trying to push like that Garu's martial arts is superior to like Suryu's, and then obviously you know Watchdog Man was superior to Garou in that instance.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that well, one, I mean, Suiryu doesn't have any statements about his martial arts or how good it is. I mean, I wouldn't assume it's better than Garou's.
Yeah, the only one we have, right, is the one where Genos was commenting on the fact that, you know, Saitama has met
his
people
technique,
Saitama has met people like Bang before, right? And he's more than likely witnessed his.
Well, the only statement I could think of is that Bang has better martial arts than Garou, which is like in their fight where Genos comments that. But otherwise, I don't see any.
Even Genos commented, if I can find the scan, about the fact that like Suiryu's martial arts was something that could possibly excite Saitama and give him what he's looking for.
Well, I'm pretty sure he said that just in general about the entire tournament. So that's why Saitama entered, was to learn martial arts or to learn how to fight against it.
Nah, he said he may satisfy when he was looking at Suiryu.
Yeah, but I don't think that like says anything about his technique or how it scales to Garou's technique either.
Well, I'm saying like, first of all, obviously they've both witnessed Bang's technique, right? And you did say yourself like Bang was superior to someone like Garou. So by this implication, someone like if Suiryu is somewhat like to Genos being capable of, quote unquote impressing Saitama, right? Then it pushed the fact that Suiryu's technique can possibly be superior to Bang, and then possibly be superior to Garou, which would give him like a standing hold against someone like Watchdog Man, for example.
I mean, I still don't think this scales his martial arts to be like better than Bang's. I mean, he even comments right before that he's also like considerably strong, whereas nobody else in the tournament was like strong enough. So I mean, he's kind of also backing on the fact that he's also strong, along with being able to use martial arts. So I mean, Saitama can't experience martial arts if they're just fucking like they could be the best in the world at it and still like get annihilated. But Genos also knows that this Suiryu is fucking strong in comparison with his martial arts.
There's still obviously the entire like Bakuzan being superior to Bang by the statements they made about him being the best or greatest contender.
Well, strongest.
No, it was the greatest contender. They said.
Was it? I thought they said he was like.
No, it was Bakuzan that said to Suiryu that he was stronger. I believe.
Greatest contender in super fight history.
Yeah, and obviously by that time, this is when we obviously know, like, I've come to an agreement that Garou is more than likely, he's possibly gotten stronger anyway, but it's from an unquantifiable amount, from what I can, like, decipher or say, for example.
I don't think you don't necessarily need to quantify it.
So I get what you mean, but like
speak for the scaling itself.
Yeah. So still, I'm pushing like Bakuzan being superior to someone like Bang in martial arts, but just because of them like going off the greatest contender, Bang must have.
Well, I don't think he's better than Bang at martial arts, because I mean, being like the greatest contender in super fight history, like it's also like a mix of power and technique. That just means Bakuzan would be really strong, but his martial arts could be higher, or it could be the other way around. But I don't think it says anything about his actual skill.
Technique does need to play into effect. So I would just argue, if technique is like a factor, like you said, then Bakuzan and both Bang have displayed that, and from their judgments and from what they've displayed, like Bakuzan would be superior to Bang.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't think that necessarily makes better at techniques. I mean, your strength also plays a factor. So I think that I'm just saying, like, this statement doesn't necessarily say anything about his technique or his strength. It could be either or is really good, or both are good.
So you would assume the neutral. You would argue for the neutral anyway. Then it'd be like 50-50 in that case anyway. You would assume both strength and both physical status or like stats, and then his technique overall.
So you're saying both are superior now?
No, I'm saying like you would assume a neutral, not a negative or a positive, really. So obviously you want to come to a 50-50 in that side. So
I mean, I don't think we should even assume that. I think we shouldn't say anything about the technique or
like even if it was the greatest contender, like what factors would there needs to be factors that play into effect in order to show.
Yeah, but you're trying to attach a number to it or like a quantification to it when I think neither applies here.
I'm trying to come to a neutral that like both can apply. Like both can apply. I'm not saying like it should be quantified that his technique is greater than his strength and that should be applied more, or that his strength is greater than his technique. I'm just saying like they both should come to a neutral then, because both of them.
Well, I
should,
mean, even if they were, what does that really prove?
That would just help.
Or was that really help Suiryu?
Oh, that would help. Still put like somewhat upscale Bakuzan's technique. Like even though it's not 100%, it's still from like an amount that can be above. What's it called? Above bangs, and obviously, again, Bakuzan went on to still say Suiryu still had room to grow as a young person, and that he was superior to him, right? So that would again put Suiryu. That would more than likely bring into an assumption that Suiryu's technique could be greater than Bang's.
Hold on, I got a question. Back in that other scan where you said in that Genos one where he says he may satisfy his desire to experience martial arts. Had Genos seen Bang fight by that point with water flowing rocks?
Yeah, because remember the meteor? He did display like using the water, the technique against destroying the meteor for him.
Yeah, but he was only using one hand and he only deflected like 5 rocks and then he jumped and ran away. I don't think that's a sufficient enough display of him fighting.
Right. Let me find any like other instances of Bang actually.
Because as far as I know, the only instance where Genos actually saw him fight was actually against Garou, and then after that, Elder sent him. So I don't think Genos actually knows how good Bang is at martial arts.
Yeah, let me try and find like an instance of Bang actually showing or like somewhat displaying it against or near Genos at least. But I believe wasn't Genos there for Melzagard at least?
I mean, I think he was, but I haven't seen the fight in a while, so I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. I'll like try and like get up the scan and then I can like show. I think if Genos was there, then that's still like showing his That's still displaying his.
I mean, I don't think Bang really even used it in that fight. Really, I mean, he just kind of like bodied Melzagard. I mean, he like one shot his marble.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. Genos wasn't there to witness the Melzagard fight at all. Anyway.
Oh, he wasn't?
No. So there was also the Bakuzan thing where he broke his toe and everything. That still should like somewhat show like the endurance or like strength that Suiryu still has the capabilities even after being like near death or near battered.
Well, I mean, yeah, that just means he tried his hardest to get up and run away. So I mean, he was trying to like escape, but I mean, even then, that Bakuzan or whatever, he was like just standing there hoping that like Suiryu was going to grovel at it. He was trying to torture him. He didn't expect to like fight back. He's not even like really on guard.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't scale the monster Bakuzan anyways.
No. I'm not saying like inherently 100%, but obviously that was still like a capability that an injured Suiryu still has. Like most of the things that he's displayed before, so most of the things he's displayed before Monster Chose was like him being fine and not hurt really. It was until after the Monster Chose fight did he bleed. Even against Saitama, for example, after he did like the little swivel.
Well, I mean, him and Chose are like still like relative, just a slight edge in Suryu's favor. But I mean, he was still like exerting himself against Chose. So I mean, I think it's fair to say that both of them do skill to each other. And that's about where they're at. Because I mean, Monster Bakuzan's way stronger than fucking Chose, and if Suryu's having a hard time against Chose, then I mean, I don't think he's going to beat Monster Bakuzan.
Let me check. I'll just go over the Chose fight quickly because I've got the scans on hand, but I don't think he was like having too much of a hard time. He was like throwing in more kicks and punches and landing more blows in comparison to what Chose was doing. So he had somewhat of a superiority against Monster Chose.
Who did?
Suiryu.
Suiryu.
Yeah, especially with the light ball attack. I don't. There was no specific name given for it, but like even against then, he like commented and remarked that like the attack that he gave was like nothing to him, and still managed to like put it out.
Well, I mean, he says it was nothing, but he was like straining himself against that quite hard, as you can see in that panel. It took him a while to actually even kick it up in the air. So I mean, he's just kind of fucking inflating himself right there.
Alright. One small thing I did want to bring up about Suiryu's like martial art technique, I don't think it's like 100% something that's unique. I believe it's unique to him, but it's not. You know, it might make an impact. Is like the entire like firm footing that Suiryu can have. So the firm footing belief where the more he puts into like the ground, like via like stomps, etc. or whatever, then the harder he can land punches. Though it's an unquantifiable amount, it's still something that can.
I mean, I don't really think that matters. I mean, I don't think it really changes anything.
Right. Let me see. Is that all the scans you have though for Watchdog Man to like show? Anyway.
I mean, yeah, I think that's all I need.
Alright, hold on.
So I mean,
yeah,
is that
if
it?
you wanna, I guess if you want to
to
try and move to conclusions, then we can do that.
Alright, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So what I've displayed so far is the fact that first of all scaling Goketsu's strength, and then showing an indication on which he had the intent to kill if people did refuse to join the Monster Association, which Suiryu did. The intent to kill from Goketsu would indicate that he wasn't 100% holding back. He was 100% not holding back. And with the intention to kill, Suiryu's endurance and durability was somewhat standing or withholding against him, even despite the fact that he was already injured. And scaling this Goketsu against someone that was like a Super Ally Darkshine, full power, or he should be superior to a Carnage Carpenter that withstood against that Super Ally Darkshine for a bit. In terms of speed, etc., I've also put him against like Faster Than Light, though it's unquantifiable, like Garou's, I believe, or the Watchdog Man versus Garou, it's still an unquantifiable amount. And in terms of technique, I've pushed for something where Suiryu could be somewhat superior to Banks. And yeah, that's about all I've got.
Alright. For my conclusion, I think I was able to that I mean, I brought up how Suiryu still thinks that Garou is as a strong opponent in comparison to him, but he obviously wasn't against Watchdog Man. I think that Watchdog Man loved both of them quite highly. I disproved the Goketsu scaling by bringing up that Goketsu was giving him chances to get up and counting before he would kill him. I did that multiple times throughout the fight, and Suiryu was able to stand back up before the counter took down, which is the only reason why he was immediately killed. I think I was able to scale like Watchdog Man's technique being higher than that, as I was able to disprove that Suiryu's that Genos has even seen Bang's technique or it to its full capacity to even scale Suiryu to it at all. So I don't think Suiryu's technique even scales to Bang's full technique. And I just think Watchdog Man would just finesse him or just blitz him one shot. So.
Are you done? Okay. Why the fuck have you done this, Cyboshi? Why? Because I have to say Darkstar wins, because you never scaled your character. You just said that he is obviously stronger, and that was the only thing you said.
Well, I was just scaling him to Garou.
But you didn't do that! You never said that one time!
What do you mean? I said he like finessed Garou.
You never explained why he would be that much stronger.
He just said he blitzed and easily defeated him, or whatever. He did say that during the debate.
Yeah, I brought that up.
No, he didn't say that about Garou. He said he would blitz and defeat Suiryu, but you never explained why that was the case.
I did say that to Garou, though.
But even if you said that was the case, he did that to Garou, that wouldn't explain why he wins.
Well, I was just scaling him
to
Garou.
That's not an explanation of what actually happened, right?
Well, I was just scaling Watchdog Man to like above Garou, and then the Garou strong statement takes.
I have to say Darkstar wins because his character is city level, and it's unquantifiably above Garou, and your character is unquantifiably above Garou, and nothing.